Pipe smoking and military culture are two concepts that might seem unconnected at first glance. However, they are intimately tied in a unique dance of tradition, brotherhood, and identity, particularly in the context of the United States during the 1940s. This was a tumultuous time in American history, marked by the Second World War and the consequential shifts in social dynamics and individual responsibilities. To unravel this intricate relationship, one must first understand the roots of both elements, pipe smoking and the military, before delving into their fusion in the 1940s. Pipe smoking has been a part of American culture since the country's founding, its roots stretching back to the indigenous peoples who used ceremonial pipes long before the arrival of European settlers. With time, the act of smoking a pipe transformed from a religious or ceremonial act to a marker of personal leisure and style. It was a symbol of quiet contemplation, of a space carved out for thoughtfulness and relaxation. By the early 20th century, it had become a sign of sophistication and masculinity, an activity largely reserved for men in their private moments or social gatherings. The military, on the other hand, has always played a crucial role in the fabric of the United States. The American military ethos, built upon values like courage, duty, and sacrifice, established a unique identity for its servicemen. This identity was amplified during the 1940s, as the United States found itself entangled in World War II, and countless men answered the call to serve. In the midst of this turbulent era, the paths of pipe smoking and the military intertwined, producing a profound cultural symbol that resonated with the spirit of the time. The act of smoking a pipe, a practice once reserved for quiet contemplation, began to hold a different meaning for military men. For them, the pipe became a beacon of tranquility amid chaos, a semblance of normalcy in an otherwise brutal and uncertain environment. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen on the front lines took to pipe smoking as a respite from the harsh realities of war. It was not only an individual act of solace but also a collective experience that fostered camaraderie. Troops would gather around makeshift fire pits in the trenches, passing around tobacco and stories under the blanket of the night. Amid the smoke-filled air, they shared in each other's joys, sorrows, fears, and hopes, tightening the bonds of brotherhood. Back at home, the image of a military man with a pipe became iconic, personifying the grit, resilience, and unwavering spirit of the American serviceman. Photographs and newsreels of the time often featured service members, their faces hardened by war but softened by the serene act of pipe smoking. These images served to underscore the humanity of these men, making the grim realities of war more palatable for the civilians back home. Military leaders, too, were frequently depicted with pipes. This was particularly true of General Douglas MacArthur, who was seldom seen without his trademark corn-cob pipe. The pipe in his hand, sometimes clenched between his teeth, contributed to his larger-than-life persona. His pipe, coupled with his signature sunglasses and cap, painted a picture of a stern, thoughtful leader, unyielding in the face of adversity. The pipe symbolism was not lost on the industry, and several companies began producing military-themed pipes and tobacco. These products, often stamped with the emblem of a specific branch or unit, were marketed as a way for service members to retain a piece of their military identity even in civilian life. By the end of the 1940s, the culture of pipe smoking among military men had permeated deep into American society. The image of a serviceman puffing thoughtfully on his pipe had become a potent symbol, representing the amalgamation of the sophisticated masculinity of pipe smoking with the stoic bravery of the military man. While the prevalence of pipe smoking has since diminished due to evolving social norms and increased awareness of health risks, the image of a military man with his pipe in the 1940s remains a vivid symbol of a bygone era. It encapsulates a unique blend of personal ritual, collective identity, and cultural symbolism, underscoring the profound ways in which everyday practices can transform into potent cultural markers.